Okay, so as far as, I just wanted to capture everything. As far as usage, can we use the footage where you
can use anything that we filmed it.
On the sneak peek exhaust?
I don't, well, on the sneak peek,
it's up
no one even knows about that yet. So
okay,
if you can blur it.
Well, let him give his options. Yeah,
like,
blur it like
pull it out.
Pixelate it. You heard him. Ricky Sutton of RLS Exhaust is going to show us a sneak peek of a new Ryker exhaust coming out. So we get Ryan dusted off, cleaned up, looking good for a little trip to Waxahachie, Texas. Gotta get the mirror. Get the mirror. Oh, thank you. Oh, I appreciate that. Thanks. Throw mouse Moto. So, like I said, little trip. It's actually not that bad. I mean, anything over 2 hours, I might accidentally say it's a long trip, but not really. But this is a long video, but it's a necessary video. So on this one, like I said, we go see RLS Exhaust. That is in Waxahachie, Texas. We hit the road with Kevin and Ryan on their Rykers. Not to only have a new RLS Exhaust personally installed on my Ryker 600 by Ricky Sutton himself, but we also have a really great chat with Ricky on his come up. Get lots of good footage on the new exhaust sound, cruising, highway stuff, all that. And you know, it's a road trip, so we joke around and make some stops on the way.
Did you just buy that?
I just bought it. I forgot one.
Dude, I even said that before we left. I said mass. I got 2 of them. I even have an extra new one in my pocket. It looks like a tongue, like a mouth. Like it's like teeth with a red tongue. Like you're like an emoji.
Well, they have pink ones this exact color, and I'm like, mother, but they're all for kids.
Oh yeah, it wouldn't fit.
I'm from Buffalo.
Buffalo.
I put ketchup on everything.
Are you doing an impression of Kevin? Kevin's from a different New York than that.
That's a whole different New York. Oh, that's like Queens, New York almost. This is not even Long Island or Manhattan. It's Queens. You know how you do the real New York accent? Just say bagel.
Bagel.
See? I know you're not from New York. Coffee and bagel.
We don't even have bagels here, much less bagels.
Donut.
Yeah, you mean a donut? I was just telling him he's a psycho and he needs to quit telling people he doesn't listen to music.
Hey, Cardo. Radio on.
Yeah, see?
Hey, Ricardo.
Ricardo, yeah, he just has Ricardo.
Hey, Cardo. Previous station.
You see?
See?
Well, there's music playing.
Yeah. It's like psycho carnival
music.
music.
He just puts his cell phone on speaker and hopes he hears it.
Yeah. Just wedges it. Takes his cell phone and wedges it. It's 2 hours. 2 hours and 5 minutes.
So this is not a night riding video. We're not going to be in the dark the whole time, so I don't want you to believe that. It's actually, we just leave early enough that it's still dark out. Also, another thing that I just can't figure out is my lens. I didn't know it was going to be this dark for this long. I think I actually like have my lens kind of cracked a little bit in that beginning, but actually I forgot the time length on that, but I mean, this isn't really daylight, but it's a lot brighter, so the lens is definitely safe at that point. But we're trying to get there, and I'm trying to follow Kevin in the first half. He's trying to get there the day before, obviously, but it was a good ride. Obviously windy, even from that footage there, and then we don't make it very far till our first, one of our more favorite stops along 35. If you live in Texas, you're probably familiar with this place.
Truck, man.
All right. Bucky's got that t-shirt mask, dude.
I remember because there was a family in front of me and they got air.
Mm-hmm.
And when they got back in the car, I just grabbed the hose because it was still on. I got all through my tires. And then I realized, I'm like, wait, those use a card.
Oh, so it like keeps going?
It might keep going.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I hope it is. But they were like waving, it was okay.
I was gonna say, that's them for sleeping on it like that, dude.
I'm like, maybe I like prolonged their
yeah.
meter, you know.
Charge them another $3, dude.
I did it so fast though.
Man, ever since eastbound and down, I've been wanting.
I was the same way. I was like, they make those? That's what did it, dude. Eastbound and that's so funny. That's like the first time I really saw what like a spider was on eastbound and down.
See, this is what life is about, right here.
There you go, dude. All right, appreciate it, dude.
Already.
So yeah, we get a few admirers. Look, check it out. I don't know what that is. It's like a WRX. I thought that was cool to put in there. I edit these things, and by the time I do the dubs, I forget what's in them, and it's actually still kind of cool to watch. I barely remember stuff, but not trying to bore you too much on the ride videos. Just show you some cool, or on the ride footage of this video. Just some cool stuff that I see when I look back over it.
Man, the ride feels good. I mean, I got snot coming out of my nose and everything, dude. It's perfect.
And then stuff like that. Anytime we stop, I try to at least pick up on a couple of things, but just trying to get there. I like to show this part of 35 because we had a topic on, I don't know if it was the last video, it was like a couple videos ago on highway riding. I mean, if your highway is like this, I can see your concern when you're talking about parts where you're just caged in. I mean, you can see that 18-wheeler just there, but the barricades there make it real weird, and you can see how the road is just changing, like the pavement there. It's like real rough on one end, and then you got like these scored lines in there that your wheel, you can see that one that's now in the middle. Your wheels just kind of want to go in that direction or follow them, so it's kind of weird. And by the time we get to closer to Waxahachie, you know, it's all rainy, and you can just see me slipping and sliding there. I'm not really taking off that much, but it just shows how the wheels are. So, you know, I do have some viewers that don't have Rykers, they're not familiar with them yet, so hopefully I'm showing you enough stuff to keep you interested. But things like the water, you got to watch out. You don't know what's underneath there. And then like this right here, I mean, that could have just looked like a wet spot, but that was like a huge bump that kind of threw me around. So different things like that. I mean, just like if you're walking around in puddles, you know, you don't know what's in them, so you don't want to step in the puddles. And you know, these are real low to the ground, especially the front wheels in relation to their little water flaps or mud flaps. I don't know what we call that, but those will scrape. And I've been seeing some of those posts with people kind of cracking their front fenders and stuff from potholes like that. So if you can, hopefully you're going at a speed where you can go around and stuff, so keep a lookout. But here we go.
You want me to just pull up right
Right here's fine.
here? Okay, cool.
Yes, put the water up there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we came from Georgetown, Texas.
Georgetown, where's that at?
It's just south. It's really not that bad. It's only like little over 2 hours south, just off.
Good ride.
Look at that boy.
Mind if I lift it?
Sure. Sure. Yeah. Weighs like 6.5 pounds.
Oh,
Look at that. That's crazy.
it's like, damn. I don't even need a hand. Give that little stick.
What did you say it weighed?
6.
That's insane, dude. Because the other one's like 25. Wow.
Is that your drink holder?
That's his. Yeah, I'll let him explain it.
I'll pull it off. It was just a joke we did on a video. I can pull it out real
That's not in the way. No.
Yeah, before
Installation on this thing's very easy. One bolt underneath the seat here, and that's
2 springs.
2 springs. Get in there, dude. Installation is pretty simple. Those springs are pretty tough.
Screwdriver does it too, but I gotta know what
Some of
to
my
do.
customers do complain about how difficult it is to get the springs with this. If you've been riding it, it is hot. There's no doubt about that. So wear gloves. Check yourself. Always go ahead and unhook those springs first, and then loosen the bolt. And you better want to have a hold to this thing because 20-something pounds dropping all of a sudden
No, but 1 hour
could damage your
stop
factory exhaust.
every hour or something.
You guys ready for breakfast? Let's toss some eggs on there.
Yeah, but you took them right now. It is hot. It went right to his
Pizza,
glove like I
man.
wasn't even wearing one.
It's 1,700 degrees right here.
My bad. We were zooming here. I should have got here earlier so you wouldn't have to mess with it so hot.
Oh, that's just normal. You know, no one rides a bike here without it getting hot. So
Right at 1 mile, it's hot.
you got it. So I'm always dealing with a hot bike. That's normal stuff.
Is it furthest you had somebody come out here for?
Probably Louisiana. Baton Rouge.
On a Ryker?
No,
Okay.
on a ZX14. He did not ride it. He trailered it in. I always put the bolt through the bottom because it's easier to hold it underneath the bike and hold the bolt up while you
Yeah.
are. It's still hot. Okay, after I get the bolt through the hole here, and I just get some threads on it where it'll hold itself up, and I move back to the other side of the bike and hook up the springs, because you really want those springs to pull the inlet up to the gasket before you tighten down your bolts.
Yeah. It's just so crazy to think, you know, just the way these work, that they just fit in like that when he's on the straight pipe on there. When Kevin showed me his, the way the spring just brings it together, it's just crazy.
This is one I always have problems with because my glasses are trifocals. When I start trying to look through my glasses, it's like my depth perception at this angle and under here, I can't see anything.
Is it pretty much the same process on the spiders too?
I know, it's a total different process actually.
Wow.
The design of these bikes is night and day. The Ryker is definitely different than the spiders.
It is a noticeable difference, but not like major. Still, if you're riding barefoot or
Yeah.
low shoes, you definitely notice it.
Yeah, that ceramic coating I use, it reduces the heat up to 400 degrees on the.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's that Cerakote ceramic coating.
That's what I put on it, right?
Cerakote.
Yeah, my thing was just like that stock exhaust just gets so gnarly looking with all that brown weirdness going on.
That's one thing I can say about the Ryker. I'm very surprised at all the rust, the stuff that they use components on. All of a sudden, my ratchet wrench stops ratcheting. What's up with that?
Because everything's going too smooth, dude.
Yeah, it won't go back and forth. So, all of a sudden,
So we're going to Durant after this, right?
Durant, Oklahoma.
Going to the casino?
Oh, is that what that is?
Choctaw?
Wasn't Durant on Total Recall? Or one of
How
those
do you
guys?
pronounce the name of this town?
One with the guy
Waxahachie
growing
or
out of his stomach?
Waxahachie?
It's
The things.
It would depend on who you ask.
He's the real boss.
I've always heard it pronounced Waxahachie.
Waxahachie.
Oh,
Okay.
Waxahachie.
I'm saying
But if you
Waxahachie.
try to tell your phone Waxahachie, it won't even spell it.
My
You have to-
GPS says Waxahachie.
You have to say Waxahachie,
Uh,
or it won't write it down for you. You'll be like, okay, I guess I'm never getting home.
There's a road I go in Austin. It's called Geronimo, and my GPS is like Geronimo.
Now, after you install an exhaust on a Ryker, you need to just let it idle until it kills itself. These things are air cooled, so they'll only idle for
10
so
minutes.
long, and then they just kill them. They just die, and then you recrank it. Supposedly, this is what I was told, that it has a self-learning ECU, so it's going to read in information through the sensors, and then it's going to make these small changes. It ain't re-dyno tuning it.
Yeah.
It's just making sure you don't run lean or fat
Yeah.
on
Wow.
your fuel rail. I think it was around 13 is when they started doing that. The 8 through 12, I've had people say that they've run codes and stuff has come up on their bikes. So I don't think those are making any changes in the first years that they came out with the spotters. But around 13, I started hearing that from techs that they got a self-learning ECU. It'll do the adjustments for you. I'm not saying don't do a dyno tune, or if you did a dyno tune, you would get more power. That's always the case with any motorcycle or any car. You know, if you change to a performance part, readjusting the fuel and the air ratio is going to make the bike run.
So with the
Optimally.
exhaust, I mean, I don't know a whole lot about it. They say, I hear talking about switching the air intake coming in. Is that going to make that much of a difference?
It will,
Good.
you know, because if you got more fuel or more flow, you know, you
need
can
to
burn
feed
your
it.
fuel. Yeah, but in doing something like that, I would suggest maybe doing your tuning and really adjusting it properly. Because that when you start just doing the exhaust, it's got back pressure and such, but doing the exhaust and the air cleaner, you probably definitely need to do retuning or some kind of fuel adjustment to make it.
That's what I was thinking.
Burn
I could
all that fuel.
do that and then have it retuned once I
Right.
get
To
that.
me, a
And I'm-
cold air intake is only to change the note of your exhaust a little
It
bit.
does change that too.
That's
deeper.
it. Everybody goes, oh, 25 horse. No, it's like 2 horsepower, if anything.
And I'm talking about just like the one that I pop up, put that can in, and close it back up. Like
Yeah,
that would
even
be.
the Cam-Am would definitely give you more power. I mean, I put one on my truck and instantly I knew it wasn't a lot, but I sure could tell.
Well, yeah.
Wow.
Well, even imagine like something like this small. It seems like everything you do is noticeable. Like we were just talking about those end links here, and you could do the whole sway bar, but just switching from those plastic ones to like these aluminum ones was like, oh my god! And it's just crazy little things on a little thing. How many of these do you normally do on a Saturday?
Well, you know, this is my since this coronavirus thing, surprisingly, business has been crazy, and I've probably worked 12 weeks straight, like 7 days a week. I haven't even stopped, and I only do installations or custom builds on the weekend here because my online sales are so good right now that I am working.
You're just getting it.
I'm working all day and into
Getting
the
it.
night, and actually coming back to work at around 10 o'clock at night and working a couple more hours TIG welding, because I can do that here and not making any noise late at night in the neighborhood. But yeah, I have not slowed down. Some of these exhausts may take me literally 8 hours to do one exhaust. I have some that are Y pipes that have a bunch of different compounds.
Because you're doing like bikes like this.
I'm doing all, yeah, like that exhaust on that bike is something that I've done. That's my bike there.
Oh, that's your bike.
Yeah, that's
Sweet,
mine.
dude. I like that double pipe thing coming out.
And you did, of course, you did that
Yeah.
exhaust there. That's a trip. Nice.
Yeah, I started this back in 2007 as a business for sport bikes, and it just kind of evolved into the Can-Am market. In 2008, when Can-Am came out, it just took off.
So since Can-Am came out, you were like, I'm gonna make exhaust for these things.
Well, you know what happened is this guy came here with a Hayabusa, and his wife had just got a new Can-Am, and I put exhaust on his bike, and he was smiling so big.
Nice.
And the next week he calls me back. He says, Rick, you got to do something to my wife's bike. And I said, if you'll bring it out here, I'll do it for free. What I'll do is I'll build you an exhaust. We'll let you test it, see if it works good or how it works, what we think about it. And if it's a good product, I'll move forward with it. If it's not, I'll just kind of kill it right there. And I didn't get to properly test it. I let them test it. I let them tell me what they thought. They went on and on about how much they loved it. So of course I went ahead and put it on eBay.
Yeah.
And started selling it. today, that was one of my first Cam-Am exhausts. Today, I'm not real excited about that exhaust. If someone calls me and says, "Hey, I have a 2008 Cam-Am Spider," I'll be like, "Well,
Yeah, that was an old need.
I still make that exhaust because they heard it and they're like, wow, it sounds amazing." But in reality, that video makes it sound amazing. In real life, it sounds like a dragster with tires this wide and this tall with a blower on it. I mean, it's just...
That's what he was looking for.
Some people are, and I get real clear about it. I'm like, if you want to be the center of attention, yes, this product is for you. But if you just want to cruise and enjoy life, maybe not. Maybe it's just a little bit over.
I always tell
the top.
people you can never go by audio.
No.
Oh
you can't,
yeah, and that's the biggest drag about the whole thing. It's like, and it sounds different, like in each one. And I've seen the videos you've had with yours and everything, and really it was like Kevin's idea. I was at work and he's like, "Hey, there's a guy that everyone's sleeping on." Because we're part of like groups, and we have the the YouTube channel, and we're seeing other people, and I'm talking to those other Ryker YouTubers and stuff like that, and they really are. I mean, obviously you're doing good, you're doing all this stuff, but the Ryker stuff, and people are buying it. I'm not saying they're not, but as far as like getting out there and talking about it, like being in the conversation, they talk about those other two that you know about, and then he was telling me, "RLS, like, what is that? I know those other two guys," and then he was looking it up, and I was on the phone. He's like, "Dude, it's up the street. Let's go out there." And I was thinking that we were gonna have it sent, and I would get it. I was like, "Well, let me buy it first. Then I'll have it sent. I'll put it on, and then we'll see if we can holler at him." And then you were like, pretty responsive to it, which is great. And you're like, "Hey, I'll make it. You come over here, and I can put it on." It's like, that's crazy, dude. That would make a sweet video, and we'll come out and we'll do it. And Kevin's down for whatever. He shows up, and we're ready to leave. And we came out, and that's all. And you just did it already. That was like what, like a minute or something.
Yeah,
so that's wild.
What, 15 minutes probably.
So yeah, and then I get to ride back with it, and we get to do all kinds of cool stuff when we listen to it. And my homeboy's got a really cool. He's got one of those Black Magic crazy cameras that are like 6K and wild stuff. And he's got a wild mic that he's pretty confident in. That's got like a dead rabbit that goes on it and everything. And I really want to give, like he's saying, same with the video. You don't know, but if I can give it like professional production, I want to try to do it
as far as the sound.
Justice or whatever. So we'll see how that goes.
Right.
But that's the big plan. I'd like to have had it now.
So you're gonna make a 1-minute intro commercial for your exhaust.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, like, this is off of this bad boy with this mic or whatever. This should give you, because I'm like, so we're part of the groups, and they show the video, and everyone's like, I don't know, because that's just what it sounds like on video.
Yeah.
Like,
when someone calls, I always try to explain. I know you heard it in the video, and it may not sound exactly like that video because it's filmed from an iPhone or from a GoPro.
Yeah.
So it's hard to. Someone's like, "Well, can you explain to me how it sounds?" I'm like, "That's impossible."
Well, it's like
lights on a video. They look way brighter in video than they actually do in real life.
Yeah.
I think you just got to pull the trigger, and it's just like on whatever it is. And like I said, this was a no-brainer. You're up the street. You're in Texas. You've expressed on the website like how it's like a local thing. You've been doing it out of here. I mean, you're talking about coming to your crib and you're installing. It's like, hey, that's everything I'm trying to support.
I'm trying to pay this house off. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's
Once
up.
the house is paid off, I get to build a really nice large shop.
Wow.
But this is
going up in the backyard.
And I'm very close. We're talking about a couple more years, and that house will be paid for, and then I can really.
And then we'll have to come check it out again, dude. The production. He's doing all RLS Exhaust out of his shop.
Yeah,
I've removed boneyard.
I've removed a couple of Ryker exhausts.
A boneyard. Even a ceramic coated one up there, I see.
Yeah, that's
they must not like that one.
That was a prototype that I made that is set up there for a while. I decided it was too large to ship. I had some interest in it, but it's just like, when you got a box that's this long, it's
your freight shipping at that point.
Well, it's not freight. They'll still ship it USPS, but you have to take a chance of something getting damaged when you build something that's that large. I made it on that one. It came up on the side of the bike. I just wanted to do something different, something that no one else has seen. There's YouTube videos about it.
Wow. So you have some. I know I've seen all the exhausts you have now. You got some. I mean, if Rykers are taking off and people are ordering Ryker exhaust, You working on like a different style or anything, or these are good enough? You got like 4 of them, right?
Actually, I am working on something right now that's a twin pipe. Now this was actually built for the F3S, you know, and it's got these special hangers on the back. But something similar to this that actually just goes right underneath the edge of the where the other one is. Now, the kicker to this is the end caps, so it's going to really make it a little bit different than what you've seen. They'll have 2 end caps similar to this. So you'll have 2 pretty nice machined end caps coming out there. I haven't pushed it yet because I've got so much business right now. I don't have to come out with something new. Around Christmas time, I'm going to come out with this, and it'll blow up.
It will.
You know, it'll be something that's new to the market that no one has seen yet, and I've already got some. Definitely got some leverage in this market. Everyone else is like, it's over a month wait. I mean so. I'm working nights to make sure you don't wait a month.
Dude. I waited 5 weeks for my shocks.
He straight up, it was like 2 days later after that conversation, he's like, hey, I got your exhaust ready. You want to come on Saturday? It's like, I was in surgery when he sent me that. Like, I have these things right here going on. I drove like this the whole way over here, just had my follow-up. And I was all like, man, I don't know what these drugs and this anesthesia is going to do to me. I should wait.
When you have a business that's this big, you know, this is not a big business. Now, from what you see here, you wouldn't think that I'm doing a lot of work, but since I started this company, just eBay alone, I have over 3,000 positive feedbacks. I'm 100% on eBay and over 3,000 sales. And since I started this company, somewhere around 6,000 exhaust total. So going through the website and the eBay as well. But
putting in work. Dude, can you do a pass? Just like a quick pass?
Sure.
Man,
Take a look in there, man. Talk about taking the bare minimum to make things happen. This is how you do it.
And turning out work, man. That's what you're saying.
Tools. You know what saves me is I outsource to larger companies overseas, and they're able to send me what the parts. I make drawings, and then they send me the finished product. Well, pieces of the finished product. And, you know, I just have them do manual bends for me, roll these pieces of pipe, and you know, and then I put all this stuff together to make a finished product.
And when did that come about to where you were able to outsource that way? Like how many years into?
Oh, the first year I started this company, I was buying all the components here in the U.S., but they were coming from overseas, you know. But I'm buying them from like local sources, local companies that are supply houses. And I was paying way more, and I got to looking at labels and names of these companies that were making the stuff, and I said, you know what? I got on Google and I said, I'm going to find this company.
Exactly.
And I'm going to talk to the company directly and say, because what I'm building right now is not what I really need. I need something different. So, you know, it had to evolve into something better. You know, I had a basic idea. You know, I came up with this basic idea, and it was a automotive exhaust flex pipe, and I told myself I'm going to add a pipe here and a inlet here, and I'm going to put it on my bike and see what happens. And I put a drag pipe baffle from a Harley Davidson inside, and it was crazy, to say the least. I still have that pipe, actually.
Yeah, let's get that.
This is like 13 years later.
No way.
This is one of the original pipe.
The OG. You got good lighting on
that is it. You know, and it's filthy. It's got a drag pipe baffle out of a Harley Davidson in it. But this is what started the company. I went to a bike night, and I had this on the bike, and I cranked it up and raced the engine, and people started gathering around. They're like, whoa, what we got here? And back in those days, it was mild
Where was
steel.
this at? In this area?
Yeah, in the Dallas area at a bike night.
Yeah.
This was made of a mild steel. And, you know, that was one of the things. I was like, I got to get everything made from stainless steel. So I contacted that company. I said, look, I need you to make me the center section here, but everything needs to be stainless steel. The baffle, there's no baffle in this when you buy it from an auto parts store. I need a baffle inside. So I redesigned it, so to speak, to this right here. Now, this is kind of dirty. This is how it evolved. As you can see, it has an internal baffle now, and everything is stainless steel. Now, that is filthy because it's going to get media blasted and painted. But yeah, that's kind of how it evolved from one thing to another. And then I moved on to the next bike, and you know, I started this at work. The whole story is I was a cigarette smoker, and I was out there on break, and I'm smoking a cigarette. And I'm looking at these line of bikes, and I'm going, almost $20 an hour, and I don't even have a motorcycle. When I was like 19, I had a motorcycle, and I make more money now than I did back in those days. And I looked at that cigarette, and I said, I'm done with these things. So I'm buying myself a motorcycle, and every I spend on cigarettes, I'm putting that towards my motorcycle fund. So I went to Walmart and bought a commit lozenge, and I looked at that label on it, and I said, commit. I said, I'm making a commitment to myself. I'm never smoking another cigarette. So I'm gonna enjoy life a little more, and so I went down to the Suzuki shop and bought a brand new motorcycle, and I added that $160 a month to what I could afford, and I paid it off in 2 years, and I had my bike, and I customized it to every way I could, you know, and I even did the exhaust, and I was going over a speed bump, and I busted it. It just came apart. I mean, the rivets came out, and the end was hanging off. I'm like, oh my goodness. And so I thought, I'm gonna go figure out something. And I was at work, and I saw those components, and I said, I think I have an idea here. So I made myself one, and after that first night at bike night with it, and the big positive impact there, one of the gentlemen said, can you build me one of those? And I was like, sure, I can build you one. I'll have it here next week. So the following Thursday I returned. I had my wrenches. I knew it was the same bike as mine. So I had the wrenches to install it, had the pipe in my backpack. We took that thing off right there. We put it on in 10 minutes. We sounded like dueling banjos, but it was bikes. I was like,
and then you had the crowd. You had to have the crowd.
They just swarmed around. And that night I got 2 more sales, and I told myself, I guess I got a third job now. That time I was working as a lead guy at a cabinet shop, and I was working as a manager at AutoZone, and now I was an exhaust fabricator. I didn't even know how to weld. When I first came up with that first product, I took those components from the auto parts store and went down to my local muffler shop and said, Dan, I need your help here. I got this idea, and I need you to weld it together. And they did a horrible job. The weld was all spattery. It was done with a MIG welder, and I cleaned it up with a flap disc sander, and as you've seen, it didn't look all spattery. I cleaned it all up and grinded everything and made it look pretty, and I painted it. And I put it on my bike, and
that's the one you're talking about.
That's that one right there, and that's how it all happened. I mean, the whole business just kind of blew up from there.
And because I was like, the whole time until you told me that part of the story, I was all like, well, this guy used to be a welder. He was doing this for other people.
YouTube taught me how to weld.
Oh,
you can learn anything in the world.
You can learn everything from YouTube.
I didn't know how to TIG weld. I watched many videos. I even installed a TV in my shop where I could sit here and listen to fabricating videos while I worked, and you know, I learned from some teachers on YouTube trying to get us to do a better job at what we're doing. And I'm doing far better than I ever did in the beginning, that's for certain. I mean, I'm embarrassed to look back at what I did in the beginning. I'm like, oh my, I almost want to give those people a new exhaust. I can't afford to, but you know, I just see my stuff and I'm going, wow, boys, things really changed. You know, I'm proud of that. I really am. But, you know, looking back on it.
Well, it's what people wanted then, and they got what they wanted, and then now you're obviously doing what people want now.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I've got a large amount of different styles of exhaust and for different makes and models of bikes, all the way back to 1999 going forward. So
crazy. So you get Rikers come through, there's your bike, you get bikes come through, people trailering Rikers and bikes from Louisiana, and that's wild.
Oh, they're coming from all over. Oklahoma, Louisiana, Arkansas. Farthest one I would say was like Baton Rouge, though. I couldn't believe it when he told me he drove all that way. He's like, we was coming to Dallas anyway.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I was like, okay, well that makes sense.
Oh man, it's cool getting, like I said, one of the big things is like, I mean, ever since we came up with the idea, I'm hearing like a few at a time that people being vocal. I know people are getting them, but they're not going out there talking about it, you know. And I've heard like, and someone on my comments on one of the videos, they were like, oh yeah, I have my RLS Exhaust and I love the sound. And I was like, I have something coming up about that. And that was like a couple days ago, without trying to spoil it or whatever. But yeah, people are getting them and they're liking the sound. So,
you know, the one thing I can say about a Ryker and my product is Rykers don't shift. So with your typical motorcycle, you shift and the RPMs drop and the sound of the engine lowers. as you go up through the gears. With a Ryker, you give it the gas and it just continues to climb until you're doing 90 and you're like, wow, this thing is really screaming now. Even the stock exhaust, I would say at wide open, is making some noise. My exhaust at 80 and 90 miles an hour, they're extreme, you know.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm stoked. I want it to do, really, like I said, that thing is ugly. The stock thing is so ugly. It looks so gnarly. I mean, you can do all kinds of wraps and cool stuff, and when you get that certain angle, when you're walking back to it at the gas pump, you see that corrosion, that yellow stuff, and you're like, dang it, dude. And it's like, that alone, it's like, I need an exhaust. And like I said, this was the perfect setup. And
Well, one thing about the stainless steel, it will heat tint, it will change color. It's not gonna look horrible, but it will heat tint and go a gold, and you know, it's just something that metal does when it heats up. Now, what's underneath it before was mild steel, and it rust and
it's
everything.
this big giant belly of it down there, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's in your face with all that. Like yours, it says, okay, so the stock weighs what, 25 pounds? And then you're saying that yours weighs
6.5, 7 pounds.
That's insane. So even if it did do exactly what that did, it's still this little thing that's pretty much hidden, you know, underneath there. So many advantages as far as, you know, the way I like things.
And no burn in your leg when you get off and you're standing next to the bike and you get too close to the exhaust. I'm like, ah!
But there's just so much more on that big heavy thing, which I'm gonna try to strap it somehow to me and take it back, which should be a
I've been
funnier
considering
part.
buying a Ryker. I was talking to my local dealership, and he says we are very, very low on stock. They are selling like crazy, and he says Can-Am just isn't doing much right now as far as sending us new product. He says because of the coronavirus and everything.
So what would
Little
your
different.
plan be if you were getting one? You think just have one to cruise on?
my wife.
Oh.
That way I can ride my sport bike.
He says his wife.
Oh, I'll ride it too. Don't get me wrong. The wife is the excuse.
Yeah, the excuse, exactly. Right? That's why he said it real
Random
loud.
present.
He said it. He said, "From my wife."
Random present. Thank you.
I actually told her, I was like, honey, I was thinking about buying you a Ryker, and she kind of looked at me like, she knows my games.
But still, man, if you guys are cruising together, that's gonna be so much fun.
It would be a lot of
period.
fun. It would be a lot of fun.
So you just have this one, or do you have
Yeah, I've had so many bikes. This is what I do. I buy a motorcycle, I create a jig. After I build the exhaust, I create a jig, and then I sell the bike. So I've had ZX14s, Hayabusas, GSX 1000s, GSX 600s. I've had a bunch of different bikes over the years, and I wanted to do this undertail exhaust. I bought the earlier year. I really should have bought a later year, because the last year of the CBR carries for like quite a few years, all the way, I don't even, like 11 all the way to, I think 11 all the way up to 20, you know, I mean, it's, or maybe even, yeah, I think it's 11 to 20. There's a bunch of years that the exhaust fit, and I bought the previous year. So I'm going to have this one for a little while, and then I'm going to sell it, and I'm going to buy the newer CBR, because I want to make sure that, you know, I've got something for all the different models.
So you definitely, for sure, make exhaust for each one of the motorcycle models you've had.
For everyone that I've owned,
Yes.
yes, and a lot that I haven't owned, because you know I offer a lot of times to give free exhaust away, just to, you know, just to be able to build it and get someone to
figure
test
it
it
out,
and get some information on it. You know, I'm like, if you'll just come out and give me 6 hours of your time, and then you can ride this thing for a couple weeks and then give me some info on it, and that works real well. A lot of people don't want to pay for exhaust. They love to have a new exhaust.
Yeah.
And their opinion, if all they have to do is give their opinion for it,
people
that's like all smiles.
There's people that'll pay to give their opinion.
Yeah.
For that. You know those people.
So I'm apologizing now. When I get my Vanderhall, it's going to be an electric. So
Oh, they're
they
really.
making
Oh,
an
they are
electric
electric.
it's already
Yeah.
up for sale.
Oh, really?
Comes out in October.
Yeah. Oh, I know where this market's going. I know where this market's
Yeah.
going. I'm not. My next car will be a Tesla. We've already talked about it. Well, once it's time to buy the wife a new car, we're getting a Tesla.
You just have to start making faux exhaust, faux electric exhaust.
I'm gonna put baseball cards on the car on the spokes. Well, I'm gonna do a little click.
Well, man, so you think? So I should start it now?
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm just as interested as you are. I'm actually more interested in your reaction, but
Oh yeah.
many Chiquita Banana Rikers have you?
I've never seen one.
It just kills me. Here it goes.
Chiquita Banana Ryker 600 RLS Exhaust.
Your neighbors are gonna love you anymore.
Well, they say it's like real loud idling, right, compared to riding. So what do you?
Good question.
Yeah.
Ask a Ryker on it.
Yeah, I'll let you know that.
I've done limited testing on it. Like I said, I'll let my customers do the testing. Now, don't get me wrong, when I built it, I did run it on a bike and I rode it myself. And I was like, wow, this thing's fast. You know, and I had fun with it, but I didn't ride a whole lot.
Oh man, it's like I already have. I mean, it already looks and sounds like I have a whole new thing. And any type of upgrade I do, where it makes it seem like I have a whole new. I love it. I already love it.
That's a 600. I don't know if you put any on there yet.
You can tell the difference. The 900 has a lot quicker stroke with the 3-cylinder, where this one, you can hear it's that twin has got that real choppy, like Harley type sound, you know, more of a bump to it.
That's nice. I'm gonna make me and Ryan live together, and so we park like side by side. So people are gonna think it's like a toy compared to mine now. Wow. Wow. Nice. So what's the best selling one right now?
The selling one,
for
sounding one.
selling for Ryker. Or you know, between any two.
Twin Chaos is probably, I have sold more of it than Union, and I think it's really because of its styling. It's late pipe, you know, 2.5 stagger coming off. That's very popular.
Yeah, just because it's got the two.
It's also the loudest one, and surprisingly, people contact me, they say, I want the loudest exhaust you have, and I'm like, no you don't. But yeah, I want the loudest exhaust you have. I was, are you sure you want the loudest exhaust I have? Yeah, I kind of have to be adamant about it because
Yeah.
I'm known as really loud sport bikes, and then I was known as really loud spiders, and now I'm really loud Rikers too. It doesn't really go with my name, but you know they're loud. Everything that I build is pretty aggressive.
Yeah, I saw the disclaimers on the website
Yeah.
or whatever. I love that. I was like, that sounds like the exhaust I want.
And I try to profit on all these little bikes that I buy. Like this bike, I got it for a really wonderful price, and I'll sell it for a wonderful price to someone else. But you know, I'm gonna make some profit on it. You believe it?
Yeah. You're like that dude on, what was it, Craigslist when he had a, what was it, like
Red
a pencil
paperclip?
eraser or
Red
whatever?
paperclip.
Is that what it was? The red, yeah, it
Traded
was
it up to a car, a
a
house,
Hummer or something at one point.
or a Lamborghini. This is the
Yeah.
Lamborghini story. There's a couple different ones.
I don't know how true that is, but when you say it, like when you're talking about, you know, get the bike, do the thing, flip it, get the next bike, do the thing,
I've
flip
got a
it.
portfolio of bikes that you would say you're a liar.
Then there's a Mr. Jim's Pizza, but
That's right next to Jim's Burgers and Wings, and they're no affiliation to each other.
Really?
No.
We go to Jim. Jim? No, Jim. Oh, I thought you meant Jim. What the fuck? No.
There's
So-
the wings there are pretty doggone good. I have to say, if I go looking for wings, that's the place I
Well,
go.
we might do that. And then do
So
like a half and half.
if you end up fabricating all day, Rick, are you exhausted?
I sure am. Oh, that's a good one.
Does that mean you've never heard that before?
I have heard it before.
Ryan is like our
I've
designated.
actually used that one myself.
Ryan is our designated dad joke material machine here.
Okay, I got some business cards, some decals, and I actually even have some exhaust labels. I didn't put one on that because it has a laser etched logo on it.
Sweet. Oh, I can put it
Decals.
on.
You can put it on at your own. No, I bend them to the shape of the exhaust because it's an aluminum decal. It's got a 1,000 degree backing adhesive on it.
Dude, I'll put it on
So
something
it's
cool.
got it's got a protective film on the front. You just peel the protective film off.
Sweet.
And then you peel the back off and you place it. You know, they're made to place right over the laser etch logo. It's made to ghost it. You know, you just go right over the top of it. The RLS Exhaust logo.
Sweet.
There's an extra. If you ever do blow it off with a pressure washer or something, you have an extra one there.
Well, thanks, man. Virtual safe handshake on there.
Yeah.
Sweet, dude. Yeah, we appreciate it, and it's gonna be, it's gonna make a killer video. Dude.
Yeah, I appreciate it coming out.
Step it up. Thanks for hooking it up and
Enjoy it.
giving me one extra thing to enjoy my Ryker about. Dude, I can't wait to blow this in Kevin's face on the way back.
Rick, any last thoughts? You want to state your name and title and business and everything?
Ricky Sutton, RLS Exhaust. Support a small business, even if it isn't mine. You know, keep America moving. You know, let's not slow down, y'all.
Nice meeting you, Rick. Yes, sir.
That's too cool. Boy.
Okay, so from here on out, I'm just going to show you the sound of the exhaust a bunch of different ways. Highway, cruising, everything.
Wow, dude. What's up?
From behind me, I can definitely hear that.
That's so crazy. It's like a whole new Ryker, dude. It's insane. What do you think?
You look like you lost 15 pounds.
Dude, I think that alone is like a performance upgrade, dude. Losing that much weight on a little thing like this? Come on, man.
puffs of air, like, like
Oh yeah.
all the way, like this far away. I was like this. My ankles were getting hit with like air.
Well, he's normally somebody. You're normally somebody that stays in that corner. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you're noticing the difference from the way the stock works compared to. Look how.
Oh, so you want to hear what yours sounds like?
Look how clear it and wide open it is.
Yeah, man.
Without having that, like, that's what that thing is. It takes up that stock thing takes up the whole bottom of your Ryker. Look.
You want me to go around the parking lot a little bit?
Go around the parking lot so you can hear it.
It's a whole.
Wow.
It's a whole new Ryker. Got a brand new performance exhaust and you're talking about those Amazon grips.
Sounds great.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all the way back there.
Feel that?
I don't even know how to feel or what to say. It's so.
It looks better. Sounds better.
I mean, it's
Lighter.
I was goose in the Marine Corps. Goose. What's wrong with your bike? It's a helicopter.
it's better than y'all.
There's a Chinook in the area.
All right, guys.
You gotta be driving down on the road like this.
Yeah, I know. Dude, I'm riding back in an RLS newly installed exhaust from Waxahachie, Texas.
We're already running.
Oh, you already? I just turned y'all's Rykers into electric Rykers just by starting mine up.
pretty much it. That's us on the way home. I was just trying to get you some good sounds to make sure you fully understood. And I'm telling you, I've listened to this through the computer. I've listened to this in my headphones, and that's the way my exhaust sounds. It's pretty accurate. Just imagine this, but like really, really, really loud. We get hit by rain, it's a drag. I actually thought it was like hell. It hurt so much. Well, not really, but it was stinging. Like I was like, this can't be rain. But if you've been caught into it, you felt it too. But I really appreciate you guys watching. I know this is a long video, but man, I was going through all the footage. Of course, there's way more, but I feel like this was really cool stuff to put out. I mean, I'm glad I did business with Ricky. I mean, he was super cool. I mean, you heard his story. We got to share it with you guys. RLS Exhaust is a local thing for us, and it's real cool that he's doing his thing. Just showing some footage of those wet Rikers out there. But we got more videos coming out that show off the exhaust. So if you're interested in, like most people are, I mean, stay tuned. Thanks for subscribing. I got all of Ricky's info in the description. You got to check them out.
See? This is what life is about, right?
There you go, Dad.